Hey tribe, how are you doing today? This is Shia from Florida, your relationship coach. And I got a message from a female client of mine that had a very profound thing to say. And I thought it was worth sharing because this is something that's going on in the dating world and it's kind of hurting things between men and women. So I thought I would read it and then we can discuss it a little bit because I think it's pretty eye-opening in understanding men and women and how they're approaching dating differently. So she says, so obviously this I think was a recent experience she had and she felt inspired to talk about it. So she said, a hookup can be a tragic crime against feminine humanity. A hookup often equates to prostitution for free, where she is left feeling used and then abandoned for giving you her most sacred gift. And then not only is she not paid, but often she is also ghosted after, feeling betrayed, and likely she didn't even get an orgasm, at least to make it feel balanced or worth it. Wow, that is a loaded paragraph. And I have to admit, I've been there, and I think most women would relate, especially the younger ones that seem to be, I guess, maybe more into this hookup culture, or it's a newer thing that's risen that I just totally don't really understand myself. You can't really learn somebody's body in a one night stand. And so it's definitely skewed towards men because you guys don't necessarily need us to learn your body as much as you need to learn our bodies because our bodies are much more complex. There's much more nuance and it takes time for women to warm up. And a lot of times I know that women are complaining of experiencing more pain during intercourse because they're just not warmed up enough and they don't even know that. They don't even know that's what it is. And I'm having to educate them like, oh, yeah, women take 20 to 30 minutes to fully engorge in all the areas in order to be like supple and lubricated enough to be ready for entry. And so I guess men and women are not seeming to know that enough in order to make sure they're following that. So yeah, it's hard for her to reach orgasm even unless that has all happened. Like all the foreplay and the buildup is all part of it for a woman. Women activate from the top down. So you have to start up here and move down her body and activating it to get ready in order to receive you, men. So, it just breaks my heart to hear this. And there's 3 paragraphs. That was the first one. Second one says, is it any wonder that women become guarded and don't trust men? Then we wonder why women don't want to date anymore or engage in sex. Some women even become avoidant of men because they're tired of the toxic masculinity of feeling scammed. Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I'm not a proponent of hookup culture. I think you just really have to have good skills, women. I think men, it's kind of rigged for men. Like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll have sex for free, instead of having to pay a prostitute for a one night stand experience. I think it's just women getting wise to the fact that, hey, this isn't built for us. It doesn't work for us. I mean, I think a lot of women end up just feeling like a prostitute afterwards because then they're so poor that's the thing is that they're giving. Can you imagine giving your greatest gift to someone? Like being willing and making that decision of, okay, I'm going to open myself to this person. I'm going to share something really sacred that's intimate. And then he just ghosts you after, you never hear from him. You didn't even get an orgasm from it. Some of you women didn't even get a real date out of it, like even a dinner date. beforehand. And so this is where women have to wise up and say, you know what, that's just not I don't see like what's in it for me. I can see what's in it for you, mister, but I don't see what's in it for, me as a woman. So I understand it. It's just so beautifully described here. And I'm hoping, men, that you're hearing this, because it is tragic. I feel when I hear these stories, and even the times that I've experienced this when I was younger, and it's just like, wow, really? You think that that's okay to do that to a woman? Because it really does feel like a crime at that point. And then the third paragraph says, is it any wonder that women associate sex with crime, abandonment, betrayal, ghosting, usury, and emotional pain? And she finishes it off by saying, men, are these the words you want women to associate having sex with you is like? Aren't men supposed to protect us? So that was just a really beautiful, honest sharing around her experience and what she's observed. It's a problem that a lot of women, I guess you could really probably say this is the number one thing that they'll bring up, I have to say, when they're coaching with me. And it's just so heartbreaking, because I think the culture is so patriarchal still. It's shifting, it's totally changing. And women really have to just stand up and say, enough, stop, no, this isn't working for me. And then, because I know a lot of the men that come in for sessions around Tantra and in relationships, is their woman is just done sexually. Like, she's had it, she's tired of it, she's feels like she's done her duty, and you're on your own, mister. I can't do this anymore. And it's sad to me, because to me that points to this kind of thing. It's like, if women are feeling this way, even when they are partnered, say their partner just likes quickies all the time, or their partner isn't making sure that their partner, the woman, is reaching orgasm and really enjoying the experience, and really able to like let go and enjoy and surrender to the beauty of the intimacy. If that isn't created for her to go there with you, and she feels rushed, she's just not feeling comfortable enough to be able to drop into that deeper space where she's able to release as well, then that something needs to change. And I think that's why we have this epidemic, because I have a lot of, and mostly these are older men, especially because I think that generation, is less skilled at communication sometimes. Like, it just wasn't part of their generational, it wasn't part of that generation to talk about sex and, just really discuss all these things. And it tends to lead to a fight if you don't have communication skills. And you can just start looping into this triggering each other kind of thing. But that's why communication skills are so important. But it does feel like women are having to get used to taking on more of a leadership role, and not just yielding to what the man wants to do, thinking that he knows what he's doing and he's going to lead me and he's protecting me and all that. It's kind of more like women are going to have to wake up and be like, hey, this is what would make it worth it for me. This is how I pace things. And otherwise, what's the point? And the last thing you want, men, is for women to lose interest in even trying, because they've just had it with feeling used and ghosted and not respected properly. I mean, that's a sacred thing to give to someone, so it needs to be respected, and you'll have much more success with women if you hold it in that way. It's a gift. And I think women would walk away just feeling a lot more taken care of if there was, some care involved there, some aftercare, checking in afterwards, and thanking her and appreciating her, making sure she's getting her pleasure too, so it's at least balanced. Otherwise, it's a total loss for her. So make sure you're not one of those guys, because then you're totally missing the mark and you're failing women and you're failing yourself, really, because the true man is designed to really get off on making his woman happy and blissing her out and being able to please her to the point where she's just so glowing. That's where you guys really get off. Because if you're not able to do that, then you need to learn some skills from a Tantra practitioner or however you do it. And making sure that you're really warming her up and wooing her into that space and making it so she wants it and looks forward to it and is like a yes, most of the time, because she knows that that means, oh, I get a little massage and I get warmed up and I get kissing and I get to enjoy the whole process of building up to this wonderful union. So that's my wisdom for you today, and sharing this woman's verbiage around, hookups and stuff. And maybe we need to just ditch that whole hookup thing and make it more of a win-win that's sustainable.